Are you thinking about buying land just because it's cheap? After buying and selling over 600 lots, I have learned that cheap land can get expensive fast. So in this video, I'll show you which mistakes to avoid before you buy so you don't end up stuck with land you can't use or sell. Mistake number 1. You buy the land. The price, a total steal. Photos look great, paperwork checks out, no red flags. But a few months later, a letter shows up, and the next thing you know, you're staring at a bill for $85,000. Why? Because the land came with a little surprise. Turns out there's a federal law called the Superfund Law. And here's how it works. If you own the land, you own the mess. Even if you didn't cause it, even if it happened 40 years ago. We're talking chemical spills, leaking underground tanks, buried drums, old industrial waste. And cleanup, it's not just expensive, it can wipe you out. Tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So how do you protect yourself? Look up the property on your state's Department of Environmental Quality. Check the EPA Superfund and EnviroFacts databases. And if it's a bigger purchase, bring in an environmental consultant. Mistake number 2. You find what looks like the perfect deal, a cheap lot, low taxes, minimal holding costs. So you clear some brush, drop in a septic, maybe even frame out a cabin. Then the next tax cycle rolls around and your tax bill jumps 5x. You call the county in a panic. They say it's been reassessed because in their eyes you have developed the land. And that's the part no one tells you. In some counties, just adding utilities or clearing space can trigger a reassessment. So how do you protect yourself? Don't rely on last year's tax bill. Call the county assessor and ask, how will the taxes change after I build? Budget for the future, not just the listing price. Mistake number 3. You buy the land. It's peaceful, wide open, and exactly what you were looking for. Then months later, a truck shows up, a crew starts poking around, and you find out you can't stop them. Why? Because in many parts of the US, mineral rights and surface rights are split. That means someone else could legally own the oil, gas, coal, or even gravel below your property. And in some states, they have the right to come onto your land and get it, even if you live there, even if you say no. Now, if you're buying in a typical residential neighborhood, it's probably not a big risk. But in rural areas with valuable resources, it's something you can't afford to ignore. So how do you protect yourself? Ask the seller if mineral rights are included. Look through the title paperwork for anything that says someone else kept those rights. Ask the county if the rights have ever been separated. Mistake number 4. You sign the documents, no red flags. You wire the money. Everything feels routine. But a few weeks later, the owner calls. They're confused. They never sold the land. And just like that, you realize you have been scammed. This is one of the fastest growing real estate scams in the US. Fraudsters find vacant land, pretend to be the owner, and list it for sale, often at a discount. So how do you protect yourself? Always verify the seller's identity. Ask for ID that matches the name on the deed. Cross-check signatures and names on official documents. Use a reputable title company or real estate attorney to close the deal. Be extra careful if the land is vacant, out of state, or priced well below market. Mistake number 5. You move in. The land is quiet. The road is peaceful. Until it rains. Then comes the potholes. Gravel washes out. And the neighbors, they start calling. They want you to fix it, grade it, keep it drivable. So you ask, wait, isn't someone responsible for this? And they say, yeah, you. Why? Because the road is private. There is no road maintenance agreement, no shared costs, just you and the bill. So here's how to avoid it. Ask the seller if the road is public or private. If it's private, request a recorded road maintenance agreement. Make sure it spells out who pays, how often, what happens if someone refuses. And if no agreement, be ready to cover 100% of the costs yourself or walk away if it's too risky. Mistake number 6. You're excited to build. You've got plans drawn, the layout mapped out. Then the neighbor shows up. They say you can't build there. They're allowed to drive through it. And they're not wrong because buried in the paperwork was an easement. What's an easement? It gives someone else legal right to use a portion of your land. And once it's recorded, you can't ignore it, you can't block it, and you definitely can't build over it. So here's how to avoid that surprise. Ask for a copy of the plat map and title report. Look for any recorded easements or access agreements. If anything is unclear, call the county or hire a title pro to review it. Mistake number 7. You fall in love with the land. It has everything: privacy, trees, and a peaceful stream running through it. You already know exactly where you want the house to go. But when you go to pull permits, they say no. Why? Because that stream, it's considered a protected waterway, and the county requires you to build 100 feet away or more. Now your dream build site is off limits, and the best part of the lot, unusable. So here's how to avoid this mistake. Call the county or zoning department before buying. Ask about setback rules for waterways, wetlands, or flood zones. Request a copy of the site plan requirements, and for extra peace of mind, talk to a local surveyor or soil engineer. Mistake number 8. You're walking the land. It's green, peaceful, shaded by tall, beautiful trees. You start thinking, this is perfect for a cabin. Then your dog gets sick. A neighbor warns you not to burn that wood. Or worse, the builder says it's too dangerous to clear the land. Why? Because some trees, like the manchinal tree in Florida, release a toxic sap that can blister skin and damage eyes when cut. And trees like black walnut can poison the soil around them or harm livestock, and even the smoke from burning them can be dangerous. So here's how you avoid them. Snap photos of unfamiliar trees and use a plant ID app. Ask a local arborist or forester to walk the lot with you, and never burn wood on raw land until you know exactly what it is. Mistake number 9. You're ready. The land is yours. You start building on it, but something's wrong. The work starts slowing down. Your contractor feels frustrated. The machine keeps jamming, and then you find out why. What's under the surface isn't just dirt. It's tires. Dozens of them hidden in brush and shallow pits. And now they're yours to deal with. But here's the problem. In most counties, tire disposal is heavily regulated. You'll need permits, pay disposal fees, and maybe even face fines. Some local dumps won't even accept them, and it's illegal to burn them. If you're thinking professional cleanup, well, that can run thousands of dollars. So here's how to protect yourself. Walk the entire lot, especially the overgrown spots. Watch for tire outlines, soft mounds, or scraps of black rubber. And always ask the seller directly if the land's ever been used as a dump. Mistake number 10. You show up to walk the land. It's quiet. Feels like the kind of place you could build on, maybe even settle down. But weeks later, you get a call. There's water everywhere. Your build site soaked, and the road in washed out. What happened? Turns out that perfect looking lot only looked perfect in perfect weather. You never saw what it did when conditions get ugly. So here's how to avoid it. Visit during heavy rain, snow melt, or after a storm. Check for pooling water, road damage, soft ground, and erosion. Walk every inch of where you plan to build or access. But here's the thing. Even if you dodge every mistake we just covered, there are a few more that blindside even seasoned land pros. So watch this video next, where I show you the hidden traps that can turn your dream property into a nightmare and exactly how to avoid them.